What you're seeing now, almost no one has ever seen. It's a rare glimpse into Dubai's grand universe design, the full master plan of its future coast. A vision still unfolding, where Dubai keeps turning the sea into land. Dubai didn't just happen, it was designed. A bold economic vision built on a simple idea to attract foreign residents, investors, and global companies, people who would bring business, talent, and money. To do that, Dubai had to offer something no other city in the region could: a modern, comfortable lifestyle that felt both Western and unique. A city of safety, advanced infrastructure, free trade zones, high-end residential areas, international schools, and above all, the sea. Because if there's one thing Westerners love more than an air-conditioned mall, it's a home by the water. Living by the sea, overlooking a marina or an open horizon, that's what sells. That's what draws people in. But here came the problem. Dubai's natural coastline was short, straight, and honestly, dull, barely 70 kilometers long. Not nearly enough for a city that planned to become a global hub. The solution? Create new shores. Extend the coastline, not just in length, but in value, by building artificial islands with as much beachfront as possible, all within minutes of the city itself. A concept that would become Dubai's signature. The first artificial island, the now very famous Palm Jumeirah, was not chosen by chance. Its palm shape carried a double meaning. It symbolized the desert's resilience, but it was also a brilliant piece of geometry. The radiating fronds allowed engineers to maximize the length of the coastline within a compact footprint, multiplying the number of waterfront plots far beyond what a simple circular island could offer. It was both a cultural emblem and an engineering solution, form serving function. An idea that turned symbolism into real estate and vision into geography. Simple in theory, not so simple in practice. Here begins the engineering story. The first challenge was finding the right kind of sand, and as in every good story, failure came early. Engineers started with desert sand. It was right there, endless and cheap. But once it met the sea, everything collapsed. Desert sand grains are smooth and round. They don't bind together. In water, they turn to quicksand. Not exactly the foundation for a city. So, they learned. The right sand was hiding under the sea itself, coarser, heavier, more compact. It was dredged up by enormous ships called dredgers, using two main techniques. The first, the rainbow method, shoots sand under immense pressure in a graceful arc hundreds of meters away. It looks like a show of sand and water, spectacular, like the vision itself. The second method is slower and more precise. The sand is sucked from the seabed, stored inside the vessel, and later pumped through giant pipes directly onto the construction site. Layer by layer, the islands took shape, reality rising from the sea. But to keep that sand in place, you need to hold back the sea itself. That's where the boulders come in. Enormous rocks, sometimes the size of cars, quarried mainly from the mountains of Ras Al Khaimah. They're loaded at local ports, shipped down the coast on barges, and placed into the sea with surgical precision. These massive rock barriers form the breakwaters that protect the islands and define their shape. Geography helped too. The waters off Dubai are shallow, only about 10 to 15 meters deep, perfect conditions for marine construction on such a scale. While the sand was still being poured, literally as the islands were taking shape, engineers used giant vibro-compactors to stabilize the new ground. These massive steel probes were driven deep into the freshly deposited layers, shaking the sand at high frequency to make it settle and compact. Every pulse forced the grains closer together, squeezing out air and water until the surface became firm enough to build on. It was an almost surreal sight. A construction site that trembled by design, turning liquid sand into solid land. Still, one question always comes up. Why not just dig the land inward and flood it from the sea? Because that would kill the water. The Gulf's natural currents are weak. In an enclosed lagoon, they would stagnate, heating up and losing oxygen, turning paradise into a swamp. So every island and channel was designed after careful flow measurements to maintain water quality and circulation. Openings were built around the Palm and the World Islands to let the sea breathe, to keep the water alive. Let's take a couple of minutes to admire the hypnotic work of the machines as they turn sea into land. Every island, natural or man-made, is in a constant negotiation with the sea. Waves and currents never stop moving sand, eroding it from one side while piling it up on another. Without regular maintenance, shorelines slowly shift, beaches vanish, and channels fill in. To keep the island stable, Dubai relies on continuous dredging, sand redistribution, and underwater surveys that map every change in the seabed. In a way, an island is never truly finished. It has to be cared for, adjusted, and kept in balance with the sea that both created it and could one day take it back. When you move millions of tons of sand, the sea remembers. Dredging clouds the water with silt, and fine particles settle over the seabed, smothering coral reefs and displacing marine life that once thrived there. Early in the construction, scientists recorded a sharp decline in coral coverage and fish diversity around the coastline. It was one of the harsh lessons of rapid progress. Building new land can mean erasing the old one beneath it. In response, Dubai launched several rehabilitation projects, creating artificial reefs, relocating corals, and designing underwater structures meant to attract marine life back. Around some of the islands, concrete domes, limestone blocks, and hollow pyramids were dropped to serve as anchors for new ecosystems. Within a few years, marine biologists began to see signs of recovery. Fish schools returning, coral fragments attaching, and water clarity improving. But restoration in the sea is never complete. The Gulf's fragile environment requires constant care, water monitoring, coral farming, and strict regulation of dredging and boating. Each project today includes an environmental management plan, something unheard of in the early 2000s. It's a slow, ongoing attempt to balance ambition with responsibility. A reminder that engineering the sea is one thing, but coexisting with it is another entirely. The World Islands Project was once meant to be the ultimate symbol of human ambition, a miniature planet built from sand, where each island represented a different country. But the dream stalled. For years, most of the archipelago remained undeveloped and off-limits, a silent expanse of artificial land surrounded by shallow, still waters. Ironically, that isolation gave nature a second chance. With no construction noise, no boats, and no human traffic, the area turned into a vast, accidental sanctuary. Marine life flourished, fish populations exploded, coral began to spread again, and the calm lagoons became safe havens for countless species. Migratory birds, crossing from Asia to Africa, now stop there by the thousands, resting on islands that were once meant for luxury villas and resorts. In a way, the world has become what no one planned, a living experiment in how quickly nature can reclaim what humans abandon. A reminder that sometimes doing nothing at all becomes the most successful restoration project of all. Today, after years of silence, parts of the World Islands construction project are coming back to life. Luxury resorts, private estates, and hospitality ventures that aim to revive the original vision. Once again, dredgers hum in the distance and cranes mark the horizon. The cycle of building and rebuilding begins anew. But lessons from the past have reshaped how these new projects are understood. Experience from earlier developments has shown that nature recovers astonishingly fast around the islands, sometimes even stronger than before. The expanded network of shorelines, lagoons, and shallow bays has created new habitats where marine life thrives. Fish populations have multiplied, sea turtles return to nest, and migratory birds now find safe resting grounds along the newly formed beaches. In an unexpected way, the very process of reshaping the sea ended up enriching it. turning engineered coastlines into living ecosystems that pulse with life. In the end, what rose here was more than an engineering triumph. It was a declaration of intent. If you don't have an attraction, create it. If you don't have a beach, build one. From the heart of the desert, Dubai transformed itself into a maritime city, surrounded by hundreds of kilometers of man-made shoreline. A sea shaped by design, a coastline drawn by vision. The moment when an economic dream became a geographic reality.